Picture this. You're tired after a long night out and you want to go home, but now you must spend time and energy to find a taxi and fight the many other tired drunk people that also want a taxi. Or maybe you just landed in an airport in a new city and have to walk to your hotel, which Google Maps tells you is going to be about 2 hours and 28 minutes. To avoid this obstacle, Uber has found the solution. Uber is a transportation company with an app that allows passengers to hail a ride and drivers to charge fares and get paid. More specifically, Uber is a ride-sharing company that hires drivers for on-demand transportation. To many, it seems like they've built a successful company in an underserved market. However, looking into Uber's financial records, we can see that Q2 of 2023 was the first time Uber has reached operating profits. Shocking, no? Uber's ongoing operational loss is just one of the many business challenges that the company has faced. Let's take a look at some of Uber's other business challenges using Porter's 5 competitive forces.
The first threat being the threat of new market entrants. Although there are no significant barriers to entering the ride-sharing industry, the high cost of the technological infrastructure may pose a challenge to some businesses. That makes this threat moderate. The second threat is the bargaining power of suppliers. With Uber's business model, the drivers are hired as independent contractors, which makes them the suppliers. This means that Uber is not responsible for the workers' compensation, health insurance, or training, all while expecting drivers to pay for their own car, fuel, and insurance. These challenging work circumstances are potentially creating a society of part-time, low-paid temporary workers displacing traditionally full-time secure jobs. This so-called Uberization of work becomes an ethically challenging threat to drivers as transportation costs get lower and car expenses rise due to inflation. As the suppliers, Uber drivers can choose to stop working for Uber and drive for other competing companies, making this force a high threat. The third force is the bargaining power of customers. These are the individuals that have the power to decide which ride-sharing service they want to use. In the past, Uber has suffered several high-profile data breaches, the most recent in April of this year. This breach, in addition to the others, has led to the compromised personal information of millions of its customers, which has eroded customer trust and resulted in many customers moving to competitors who they perceive to have better data security. Uber must continuously invest and improve their data security to make sure that they keep their customers' trust and protect their personal information. Also, Uber's business model includes technology that automatically rates their drivers. This upfront service rating makes riders more aware of the quality and service they're paying for, potentially raising awareness of different ride-sharing services when customers are not satisfied. For these two reasons, the threat of the bargaining power of customers becomes moderate. The fourth force is the threat of substitutes in the transportation industry. Alternatives to using Uber include traditional taxi hailing companies, public transportation like bus and train, personal vehicles, and transportation by biking or walking. These alternatives makes the threat high because customers can easily switch transportation when dissatisfied with Uber's services. The last of Porter's 5 forces is competitive rivalry. Uber faces intense competition from other players in the ride-sharing industry, with companies such as Lyft and DoorDash making the competition very fierce. These companies have developed their own ride-sharing apps and are expanding to other parts of the world, making the threat of competitors very intense and unpredictable. The final business challenge that Uber is facing is their trouble to make profit. In 2022, Uber reported a net loss of over $9.1 billion, which is due to several factors including poor investments in research and development, pricing strategy, legal challenges, and its business model. An example of this bipolar profit is Uber in Latin America. Originally being Uber's fastest growing market, Latin America is now the slowest, showing us that Uber revenue growth can change depending on the area and the time period. Dara Khosrowshahi, Uber's chief executive, stated that Uber's new growth initiatives and continued cost discipline resulted in a much better second quarter in 2023.
Now that we've taken a look at Uber's business challenges, let's pivot to analyze Uber's strategies. Let's start off with people's involvement in Uber.
Whether it be customers or drivers, People are the key factor to make Uber possible. Uber has created an extensive network of users and drivers. Having this network supply of drivers creates slower wait times of users needing a ride, increasing the appeal that Uber has for potential customers. This creates a cycle of increased earnings for the company because the more users Uber retains, the more pay the drivers get. Now, drivers would be drawn in due to more pay, but once they see that they have no benefits, they would be discouraged. That's why Uber should provide drivers with employee status and benefits. Since Uber is part of e-commerce, technology has a vital role in the business. People would then be motivated to join as an employed driver, therefore helping Uber's extensive network. Although drivers are the supplier of the company, the customers are who keep Uber running. Incentives to keep loyal customers include in-app features such as adding saved places, offering discounts, and Uber reward points. These are just some of the ways Uber tries to re-engage inactive users as well as creating loyal customers.
Next, let's take a look at the organization strategies. Uber is able to reach a large demographic by offering multiple different user options. The traditional Uber ride is called UberX, but there are other services such as Uber Black that matches riders with a top-rated driver and luxury vehicle for a higher price, or Uber Wave that offers ride assistance for seniors and people with disabilities. Accommodations of any need are able to be met with a wide variety of ride-sharing modes. In addition to their innovative ride-sharing options, Uber reached new ambition in 2014 known as Uber Eats. Uber Eats provides a service for users that delivers food from desired restaurants to a selected destination. Uber Eats is partnered with telehealth and local pharmacies to help deliver wellness products and prescription medications. In addition to this, Uber Eats is partnered with Albertsons, one of the largest drug and food retailers in the United States, to tap into the grocery delivery services. The organization is working to become a last-mile third-party delivery service. In doing so, Uber has strong potential to become a competitor with UPS, USPS, FedEx, and Amazon, all while diversifying their own delivery systems. Branding, an important part of Uber's recognition, is mastered in the company's logo. The Uber Move font was used to incorporate a sense of mobility, accessibility, friendliness, and simplicity not found in previous iterations to provide a more easily recognizable name for the organization.
Now let's take a look at how Uber uses technology. Uber's vision in the future is that most people won't own a car, therefore self-driving cars would move people around in their destinations. Uber had an idea to invest in self-driving cars, which they believe that would be the key to lower labor costs, as well as guaranteeing a long-term profitability. Although this seems like a perfect improvement, self-driving cars still need a vast amount of optimization in order to conduct properly. Another technology is drones. Drones could be introduced to their delivery technology. Uber Eats would benefit from using drones instead of using drivers. Currently, self-driving cars aren't always the safest because they're not able to respond in unusual circumstances. Safety checks are also part of Uber's technology. Uber System's accelerometer and driver's phone with GPS and gyroscope tracks drivers' performance and sends safe driving reports. The ride-hailing app has launched a new technology that lets them know if drivers have stopped for a prolonged period of time or ended their journey that wasn't their destination. If any of these unusual actions are detected, the technology will ask the driver or rider if everything's okay. Uber offers all their services on a unified application. Once you enter the app, you have the option to go anywhere with their transportation service or get anything delivered to your step.
Now, let's dive into the information systems section of the MIS diagram.
As mentioned by Group 5, Uber uses cloud computing to store their data. Cloud-based storage system helps keep their data off-site and helps protect them against cyber attacks. As a company that has struggled with security breaches in the past, cloud-based data storage is a way for Uber's data to be more secure. Chapter 8 discusses data security and the importance of keeping data protected. This investment in data storage is a way that Uber can assure its network that their information is being kept confidential and well protected. Another way Uber uses information systems to better their business is automatizations in car and delivery services. Self-driving cars and drone delivery would allow customers to get the rides, products, and services they need on demand. The efficiency and reliability of these automated services would increase customer appeal and could be a serious investment achievement for Uber as a whole. No longer being required to pay drivers will help Uber make profit. Uber has been caught violating public transportation laws and regulations, abusing personal information, and failing to protect public safety by performing inadequate background checks on drivers. A supply chain management system would give Uber the control to monitor the ins and outs of the company, preventing further conflict. Moving on to business solutions, let's take a look at the different ways Uber can improve themselves as a whole.
The first business solution is to increase profits. As we previously mentioned, Uber has been operating at a loss for years. 2023 was the first year that Uber has made profits, mainly due to the popularity of Uber Eats post-pandemic. Uber increasing their profits would be a major success for the company, made possible by integrating information systems into their business model. The second business solution is for Uber to implement better security systems for their data. Investing in data security will increase the reliability of the company and improve public image. This investment in security will prevent the likelihood of future data breaches and increase consumers' trust in the company. The third business solution is for Uber to improve their driver dialogue. Hiring Uber drivers as full-time employees and giving them the proper resources and compensations would make the appeal of driving for Uber much more likely for potential hirees. With drivers working as employees, Uber would regain the power in their company by making their suppliers not from an outside source. The fourth business solution is for Uber to redesign their business model. Previously, Uber has focused on the rapid expansion and awareness of their company, and this disruptive business model has digitally intercepted a previously well-regulated market. Uber needs to change their business model to a more ethically conducive goal, focusing on the areas in their company where they're making profit and not just focusing on popularity might actually do the business some good. I mean, this isn't high school. This is a worldwide billion-dollar company, right? Thank you for following along today as we analyzed Uber as a whole. As previously discussed, Uber has many different business challenges that need to be addressed and some that are already a work in progress. The people, organizations, and technology in the Uber company have immense potential for innovation as information systems become integrated into Uber's business model. As we finish up here today, we leave you with one question. Do you think Uber is a viable business? Feel free to leave a comment in our discussion board for the opportunity to earn a +1 below. Thank you.